Mrs. Johnson says marrying her husband for the second time has led to twice the stealing, twice the cheating, and twice the heartbreak. Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone. You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Johnson v. Johnson.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Johnson and Mr. Johnson. Welcome to Divorce Court. I'm glad to have you both here today. And welcome to Divorce Court, everyone. It looks like we have a couple that have literally been together for 3 decades. Although they've only been married for 12 years, they faced a lot of ups and downs. And I understand they even married each other twice. Let's see if 2 times is a charm. Mrs. Johnson, why are we now in divorce court?
Well, it's just he's throughout all these years, I know how he acts, and he was just acting strange in a sense where the last times he acted and treated me like that, he was cheating on me. So I want to
So your spidey sense is saying he's back up to his old tricks?
I mean, if I find out all this time he's been lying to me and I've been believing him again, I can't have him do that to me again, ever.
Mr. Johnson, you heard what your wife said. What do you say, sir?
I'm here, I want to save our marriage, but I'm tired of being accused of everything, and anytime I'm not around, or if I don't answer my phone because I'm in the bathroom, I'm with somebody else, and I'm tired of being accused of it.
You admit to having made some mistakes in the past, but that's behind you.
Yeah, I have made a lot of mistakes in the past, and yeah, it is behind me.
But something tells me I'm gonna learn about those mistakes to see if they really are in the past, because this is divorce court. Tell me a little bit about how you all first met 3 decades ago, and what has led us to get to the point where we are now in divorce court.
Okay, well, we were out, and I was by myself, sitting at a table, and he walked up to me, and we started talking, and then he asked me for my phone number, and I said no, and he talked me into giving him my address, so. We didn't go to places like I wanted to. It was always like secluded places, and I said, why can't we go to this happening place? And I finally found out that he had a girlfriend.
Ah, so you were like, and the Italians, you know, the gumas go out on Friday night and the wives go out on Saturday night.
Yeah, he was keeping me from all the exciting places that I'm used to actually going, but he wouldn't go there with me.
Because you were the side chick.
Yeah.
So let me guess, Mr. Johnson, you had not resolved your previous relationship when you started one with the now Mrs. Johnson.
No, ma'am.
That's correct. And you was dipping and dodging and just not being honest with either lady.
I think ultimately I was honest with her to a point, but no, yeah, neither one really knew.
What was going on?
Yeah.
So you know, Ms. Johnson, walking in, that honesty is not Mr. Johnson's ministry, okay? That there's a problem, right?
Yes.
But how did you all get through that? Because that was a big red flag.
Well, I was moving out of state, and I said jokingly, if you want to come with me, you can come. I didn't think he'd say yes. And he left in the middle of the night with me, and we ran away and got married.
You all ran away, got married, as I understand. Ups, downs, and sideways. Broke up.
I divorced him the first time because I caught him cheating on me. So,
and you took him back again?
Well, I mean, a long time had passed.
How long passed after the first divorce?
10 or more years.
15 years.
Yeah, as I understand, you ended up having children?
Yes, after he and I divorced.
Right. And then, Mr. Johnson, you ended up having children?
Yes, I had a child with a woman I married after her, yes.
So you all had separate lives, and then you come back together 12 years ago, is that correct?
Approximately, yes.
Yes, ma'am. And now you think we're gonna be solid as a rock?
Yeah, I did. He convinced me of that.
But you now say not only don't you trust him because of cheating allegations, you say he's a thief.
Yeah, well, we were having a holiday dinner at my grandma's, and they had had a rummage sale, so all the stuff in the garage was still out. And I told my husband, if there's anything you want, just let me know what you're taking so I can later pay for it. And about a week had passed, and I got a phone call from my grandma and asked me if I knew anything about these chainsaws. And I said, no, I didn't know anything. I asked my husband, and he said he didn't know anything either. My relative had called the police to do an investigation.
Right.
And
because now it's stolen property since nobody knows anything about it.
Yep. But then we found out that he had pawned the stuff at the pawn store. His name came up.
Yeah, and
I'm listening. Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
I tend to take people at their literally at their word, and she didn't say anything about telling her. She said, if there's anything you want, take it. And she had been pressuring me to take care of some a legal issue before she would marry me again. So that's.
Please tell me it did not involve a chainsaw, okay?
No, Your Honor. I pawned them to pay for legal fees, and I was going to get the saws out of the pawn shop and put them back. And
Mr. Johnson, what prohibits you from saying when the now Mrs. Johnson for the second time says to you, Granny called about the chainsaws. Did you see any chainsaws? You know anything about them? From saying, yeah, babe, I took them. I forgot to tell you because you want me to take care of this legal stuff. And I got the money that was necessary. So whatever it is we owe for the chainsaws, let's pay it. Why do you just say that?
They already had the chainsaws.
The pawn shop?
Yeah, no, the police did at that point.
Because you lied from the beginning?
Yes, I did.
He submitted to a polygraph examination because I know this is a bone of contention between the two of you, but that's only one of the bones of contention. The biggest one is your accusation of him cheating.
Yes, one with my best friend and one with a relative of mine.
So instead of just coming clean and saying, I took him, which, by the way, it wouldn't have been a problem at that point. She could have easily said to her grandmother and the rest of the relatives, oh, yeah, I did tell him to take what he wanted and we would just pay for it. But you didn't give her the opportunity. Am I right, Ms. Johnson?
Correct. Yeah, I could have said that he thought those were part of it, and we'll return them right away.
Or we'll pay for them.
Right.
Which is what you initially said. If you want something, then we'll make arrangements to pay for it.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the rummage sale, though.
Oh!
It was the chainsaws were in a completely different garage.
So it was just straight up stolen?
Yeah.
Okay. How in the world did you explain that to your family?
I couldn't.
Uh-oh. Something tells me the family was not happy.
No.
Let me guess. They thought you were in on it.
Yeah. So they wouldn't talk to me for, it was about a year before I talked to my grandma again, and that was when she was sick.
Mr. Johnson, you know how horrific that sounds. You put her in a bad position.
Yes, I did.
You put her in a very bad position.
Yes, I certainly did.
You've established that he's a thief, no question whatsoever. But now you're worried about him being controlling and manipulative.
Yeah, manipulative more. Because he does a lot of the silent treatment.
Yeah, but I understand that he even impacted on your job.
He did that too. I
That's
lost
not true.
a couple jobs.
Well, let me hear, and then you can tell me if it's true or not. What happened?
The one job, he started calling them and harassing them about, if I worked there or not. And they came to me one day and they told me, and I knew that they were being contacted by him. And then they told me, second time they came to me, that I was fired.
You mean like human resources came to you?
Yeah, and they said that they can't have someone with my problems working there.
But my note says you got fired twice. What is that about?
Yeah, well, I believe, I don't have proof, but I believe that he manipulated and lied, made up lies about me because all of a sudden at my job, they just didn't like me at all anymore. I was doing my job, everything's going great, and then one day it wasn't.
And some other person was involved in that situation.
Yep, somebody he knew that I didn't know he knew.
Sounds like a little bit of a conspiracy.
He had that person, like Dave would say, well, so-and-so said that you were late coming back from lunch. And I'm like, oh, so you have someone watching me or what?
Mr. Johnson, what is this about? This sounds very mean and manipulative.
That's not true at all. I had a friend, I did call her for the first job she talked about. I did call after she had called my place of employment and told them that they should do a random drug test on me, which I found out about because the maintenance supervisor where I worked had the same name as mine, and he was pulled in for a random UA, not me.
Please tell me this is in the past. The second one.
It is in the past. The second one, I did know somebody that worked for that company. He didn't even work in the same plant, and I did not talk to him.
Yes.
Well, we'll see when I took the lie detector test. We'll see what it says.
Mr. Johnson is correct. He submitted to a polygraph examination because I know this is a bone of contention between the two of you, but that's only one of the bones of contention. The biggest one is your accusation of him cheating.
Yes, one with my best friend and one with a relative of mine. Underneath in the bottom back of the drawer, I find a Valentine's Day card, and it was to my husband from his ex. So I confronted him with it, and he told me yes, that his ex came over and they slept together in our bed.
Whoa.
When we first got back together and we were living together again, on Valentine's Day, I had to be out of town.
Were you all married again at that point?
No.
No.
But you were.
But it was our first Valentine's Day back together.
And you were living together?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, I had to be out of town.
Okay.
Which I didn't want to, and he didn't want it. Well, then about a week after I was home and Valentine's Day had passed, I was looking for something, and underneath in the bottom back of the drawer, I find a Valentine's Day card. And it was to my husband from his ex. So I confronted him with it, and he told me yes, that his ex came over and they slept together in our bed.
Whoa.
And you didn't go to jail that night?
No.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, it would have been some slow singing and flower bringing, because somebody would have had a funeral. Okay?
She was actually in jail when it happened.
I am living in a place called hell right now. There is never going to be a reason why, while your significant other, life partner, is dealing with a legal issue, you bring another chick into her house and go in her bed. That is the tackiest thing. And that's not the only time.
Well, the next bed he ruined for me. We were out with some friends having drinks, and after one drink, I started feeling sick, so I asked my girlfriend to take me home, and she did and came right back, and he was asking where I was, and she told him that I was at my mother's. She lied to him.
I don't care if the other woman lied or not. Did your penis come out of your pants as it related to somebody else?
Yes, it did. Yes.
Yeah, that night it did, yes.
I would have thought that would have been the last straw, but my notes say the last straw was yet another Valentine's Day.
We were supposed to do something, and I ended up deciding to surprise him an hour and a half early, so I dressed up all sexy and everything, and I went to his work. I went to open the door, and it was locked, and he wasn't at his shop where he said he was.
Let me hear from Mr. Johnson, because I need to give you an opportunity to defend yourself.
I ended up just going over to a friend's and helping him work on his motorcycle. She knows who he is, and it's actually not far from the house.
You know nothing is going to allow you all to move on until you can establish a baseline of trust. And so the court asked if you wanted to have a polygraph examination administered, and Mrs. Johnson, you wanted that, is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson, you agreed to that?
Correct.
Well, I'd like to know what the results of those questions were. Corey, will you ask the polygraph examiner to join us?
Sure thing. Sir.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good day, Mr. Yarborough. I'm glad to have you back here in divorce court. Please state your name and your qualifications.
Certainly. My name is John Yarborough. I'm a certified polygraph examiner, also a member of the American Polygraph Association. I've conducted hundreds of polygraphs for numerous law enforcement and other public safety agencies across the state, as well as private and professional polygraphs.
And Ms. Yarborough, I wanted you to ask Mr. Johnson the following. Question number one. We asked Mr. Johnson, on Valentine's Day 2023, where you failed to show for that planned dinner with Mrs. Johnson, were you with another woman?
That is correct, Your Honor.
What was Mr. Johnson's answer?
Mr. Johnson answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was no deception indicated to that question.
So on
Told you I
Valentine's
wasn't.
Day, he was not with
Told you
someone
I
else
wasn't.
on that particular day.
He was being truthful in his answer to that question.
We asked Mr. Johnson, since November 2021, have you had any sexual contact with anyone other than your wife?
That is correct, Your Honor.
What was Mr. Johnson's answer?
Mr. Johnson's answer during the pre-test interview was yes.
So he self-admitted.
He self-admitted that there had been an occasion since 2021.
Did you ask any
not all
follow-up
that.
questions?
The only follow-up questions I had to him on that question was it more than once? And he said yes. So at that time, it was multiple times.
It was
Thank you so
years
very
ago.
much, Mr. Yarborough. I appreciate your services yet again.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How many different people have it been, Dave?
2.
Oh, really? And I thought it was 1. Who else was it?
Do we care? Do you want him? Do you want this? Is this the life you want?
No. No, I don't.
Please give me the divorce papers. Thank you. Ms. Johnson,
I can't believe you didn't even tell me before. Oh my God.
you came here
This is why you did
with divorce papers that are not even signed.
I didn't want to believe he was doing it. I believed him.
Ms. Johnson, this man right here is not good enough for you, okay? And
Are you seeing someone now?
I'm sorry. I'm not even
Are
going
you?
to allow you to deal with
I
that.
want to know if you're
Then
seeing
you know
somebody
what?
now.
Why do
No,
you
I'm not.
care? The man is
such a liar.
untrustworthy. He is a liar. He is a cheater. He is a thief. And if that is what you want in your life, go with God.
No.
But girlfriend,
No.
it would not be my life. If you want to have these papers served, then with your chest, you have to sign these papers, date them, and ask me, Your Honor, will you have them served? Do you want these papers to be given back to you so that you can sign them, yes or no?
Sign them.
Yeah.
Sign the papers.
I don't know. I want us to have to go through counseling.
I got news for you. I will not waste counseling on the two of you. This is a marriage made in hell, not heaven. There is nothing about it that is secure. This is horrible.
'Cause it's
This is
real,
a
right?
horrible situation.
It's real, isn't it?
Mr.
Totally.
Johnson, it's almost
I'm
as
not-
if you
I'm
should
not
have
gonna
walked
sign
in
them
here.
right now.
Of course you're not going to sign them right now because you're going to go home, you're going to take this kind of treatment, you're going to continue to be this doormat
I wanna
because
know-
you don't think that you're worth it.
I want to know if you're with somebody right now.
No, I'm not.
You know what? If you don't know you deserve more, then that is on you. That is on you. And if you don't like what you got, then get what you deserve. But it's not going to be Mr. Johnson. That's my verdict.
Doesn't look like it all.
Who was the other person? Who are the
Doesn't
women?
matter who
No,
they are.
you're not. Now you're not going to tell me.
It doesn't matter who.
Yeah, it does
past,
matter.
no.
I want to know.
Kimberly,
Dave, if you, then I will sign them. Fine. If you're not going to be honest with me and tell me what is going on.
Huh?
No, I've asked you, and you said 2 women. You've been with 2 women.
I'm trying to think. I thought.
Well, do you think there's
No, no,
more?
No.
We go.
No, I know there's not more. I know there's not.
Made in Georgia.